Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to the Coffee Milk Hour. I'm Puffy. I'm joined here by a slightly fatter...
I've actually lost 3 pounds. Thank you. I went running twice this week.
You're like...
I was very productive. I built shelves. I replaced floorboards while you didn't do anything.
I was very busy, but we'll get to that in a second.
I'm sure you were so busy.
You're like the addict of weight loss. You know how like when an addict is like, oh yeah, man, I've been clean. They've always been clean for 3 months. You've always lost 3 pounds.
No, but
that number never changes.
All right, fine. I'll get on the scale later and you can stare at it, okay?
I don't want to stare at a scale. You were just going to say too much.
It stands...
Help.
The fact of the matter is that even though you are both shorter and wider than me...
Stouter, thank you.
Sure, you still weigh way more than I do.
I do.
So
I'm very heavy set. It's because I used to have a lot more muscle.
Yeah, it's because you're a fat fuck.
Well, no, I just stopped working out.
Yeah.
That's besides the point.
Because you ever worked out.
Well, I did. Mm-hmm. I worked out for like 7 years.
This is going to be the Friday Freestyle where I'm especially mean to you.
Why?
Because it's so
But
much
I'm back
fun.
from vacation early.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy, right?
Who's everybody?
You.
Because me, the two cats, and the dog, I don't think we're part of that.
And our adoring fans. Endearing fans?
Adoring.
Yeah, adoring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn English.
Hi, guys. I'm back. So, there's actually an episode this week because there wasn't going to be one. So, you're welcome, America.
And for the second week in a row, Jordan did not provide you with a coffee minute. Because he doesn't care about you.
I didn't have the Wi-Fi.
He doesn't care about you on Tuesday. Oh, and because Jordan doesn't have data on his phone, apparently, because, New Age America.
The Podbean thing said that I couldn't record and post if I wasn't connected to Wi-Fi. If I can change that, I'm not aware of it. Also, I was very busy, thank you, on my vacation.
What were you so busy with?
Checking out the job market in Rhode Island, making sure that my networking connections were still good, just in case things don't
Did you create a LinkedIn profile?
I have a LinkedIn profile.
Oh, have you uploaded your resume?
No, not yet, but that's my next step.
Oh, okay.
But on the good news scale, the networking options up there are so much better than the networking options down here.
Well, typically
I got like 4 job offers while I was up there.
Typically when you know more people in an area, the networking tends to be better.
Right. I guess that's true. It does make it easier to find work. Like, yeah. I've been applying everywhere down here, and everybody has either told me no or we're full and we don't know when we're not going to be full, which I guess is a fair answer, but it doesn't help me. Like, I'm in a pretty big transition right now.
That's just the test, though. You're supposed to, apply, put in your resume, call them 3 days later, be like, hey, am I coming in for my interview? You're going to be persistent.
No, I did that with most of these places.
No.
It was like, hey, I'd like to fill out an application. Well, we're not currently hiring at the moment. Well, can I submit my resume anyway?
Whoa. You don't fill out applications anymore, Jordan. We're adults now. You slam your resume on their desk and you say, you look at me. I'm coming in for my interview. Look at that resume. It is fucking amazing.
Look at me. I am new employee now.
That's right.
No.
Exactly,
so,
just like that.
So they would say, it's not an application process. So I'd ask if I could give them my resume anyway, just for consideration in the future. They would say yes. I would email them my resume. And then after 3 or 4 days, I'd call up and say, hey, I was just wondering if anybody had a chance to look at my resume. And like 90% of them were pretty steadfast in their, look, we don't have positions open right now, but we do have it for future reference.
Remember the episode of Family Guy where they're hiring the babysitter and they're like, the position has been filled. They, even though the position wasn't filled, they just say that because the person applying was not to their taste.
Are you saying that I'm not a good hire?
I'm saying maybe...
I'm a great hire. I come with all of the benefits of a hire. 1, your company doesn't have to spend medical coverage on me because I have it. 2, I'm a vet, so for preferred hires and tax breaks, you get that for hiring me. 3, I'm adorable, so that's a plus. I've got an award-winning smile.
When did you win an award for your smile?
When I was 5, my mom gave me a gold star.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to touch that one.
So it's been rough, and it made me realize some things. Getting a job kind of sucks. It's pretty hard. I usually harp on people a lot because I'm like, dude, just go get a job. It's easy. You can find a job anywhere, but you really can't sometimes.
Well, GE is moving to Rhode Island, and Amazon has opened up in Fall River.
Yeah,
so those
Amazon.
Are 2 massive companies
Amazon
doing massive hiring.
One of the guys I talked to, because it was weird trying to find the Fall River contact information because the building's not done yet. They start hiring in September. But they put out a thing saying, hey, we're hiring for vets, first priority. So when I called them up, I was like, well, how does that work? And they were like, you give us your resume and then we hire you. And I was like, oh, that's neat.
Bam.
But I realized a couple of things. One, it's not necessarily easy to find a job, but it also depends on what you're looking for. Because there were a lot of jobs I could have gotten that were, what I would consider beneath me. Or, not enough to support me financially.
Right.
So it's interesting. I don't know. It's weird being almost 30 and having to look into the job market again. You know what I mean? You think you have a career for the rest of your life and then you don't, and things are just difficult.
Even then, it's not the rest of your life. It's only 20 years.
No, I mean, it could be the rest of my life, though. Like, if I enjoy my job that much, why would I stop?
Oh, I thought you were referring to military.
Oh, no, 20 years and then 10 years for a pension and whatnot, but, like, I mean, you can usually not have to get a major career after a full 20 in the service.
I'm excited about new jobs.
Really?
Well, yeah, one day when I get a new job, that will be, I think it'll be good. Ready for a fresh start, new projects, new challenges.
Well, yeah.
More money.
But, I mean, like, you have, so between you and I personally, I mean, you have way better qualifications than I do.
Oh, yeah, I've got the edge all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have the college degree, even though it's a bullshit degree. No offense. You have,
Let me explain to you something about degrees. There's no such thing as a bullshit degree, because at a minimum, a degree shows that you stuck with something for 4 years.
Well, I was talking with my buddy Mike about this earlier.
What are his qualifications?
What do you mean, what are his
Well, I'm
qualifications?
trying to figure out how much I should, like, listen to his
Just
opinion.
listen to the conversation.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about it, and we were talking about how, like, certain degrees are worthless, and he was kind of, not deflecting the argument, but what his point was, if you go into college and you get a business management degree, you come out of college, you're 22, 23 years old, how much worth does that business management degree really have? Who's going to hire a 22, 23-year-old as a business manager? Just because you have the degree. You have no experience. So, like, it varies. Like, you have an English major degree?
I have an English degree. I have a degree in English.
You could go be a teacher, but they get paid shit. Your qualifications from the military and your certificates from the military are going to get you a better job in the IT
lawyer.
world. You could try. I mean, you have to go to law school.
Or any single job where it is required of you to write anything.
Well, yeah, but, like, having an English degree doesn't mean... Oh, God.
Fax machine.
Ow.
What? Listen.
Ignore.
What the degree does is, if I go into a job, if I go into an interview, and it's like, oh, look at these skills I earned while in the military and the certifications I've earned, and also I have this English degree, maybe they give me $75,000 instead of $65,000.
Absolutely, but you're not going to... What I was trying to say is, like, you can't walk into a law firm and be like, I have an English degree. I can write up complaints and fucking dissertations and whatnot on court cases. You still have to pass the bar. You still have to go to law school.
Right, if you want to be a lawyer. But I could walk into a office and say, I've got an English degree, I'm capable of being a paralegal, or going for a paralegal certificate while I work with you, and then go to law school after. It's way easier for me to get my foot in the door at a higher salary amount than it is. So that kid with the business management degree, he gets out of school at 22. No, he's not going to be a business manager right away unless he's savvy. If he's savvy, he could.
Or he has family ties to companies.
Let's say he gets into a company, he's not going to get hired on as a peon. He's going to be in administration somewhere, and he knows more than people who didn't go to college. So advancement for him is easier.
Well, the promotion opportunity is there.
Yes. So his track to success is much faster. Even though someone else might have gotten a 4-year head start on him, and he will be promoted more quick, he'll still pass them. Unless that other person is a naturally gifted business person who's literally doing all their research from home so that they can acquire the same knowledge that the kid who went to school got. But, like, it puts you on a faster track. A way faster track, and you won't stagnate.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess... I don't know. I think this experience has put me on, or in a state where I value education higher than I previously did. Not that I never didn't value education. I think it's very important. But I always thought, I dropped out of high school. I got my GED. I joined the Navy. I had a good career. I was getting paid good money. I was going to go 20 years and retire, get my pension, get a part-time job for some extra, fun stuff on the side, but always have a paycheck coming in. That's not the case anymore. Now, I'm out with a GED, granted with military training in many different facets, with many different certificates, but, like, again, you and I both go in for a job. You're also a guy with a high school diploma and a college degree.
Right, because I'm not a quitter.
Yeah, so, don't be a dick.
Winning!
So you've naturally got the edge, and I think that's what I came across. And it wasn't like I was angry or resentful about it. I made my own choices.
You've also only been in the market for like a month and a half. It's not even that long.
I've been in the market for 2.5 months.
Okay, it's not even that long.
It's not that long, but it's long enough, especially when you have to consider, like, all right, so here's what I was weighing, right? At first, I was just looking for jobs in Virginia, and I was like, all right, what can I find here? But, like, the more I looked and the more I realized that I was getting 2 types of offers. Or 3, technically. The first one was no offer because I didn't have room. The second was extremely low pay for higher jobs. Like, I have business finance and administration finance certificates from my training from what I did in the Navy. So, like, I qualify for bank manager positions. But the banks around here were like, oh, we can hire you on as an assistant, but it would only be 25 hours a week and it would be $10 an hour. Well, who the fuck is that supporting?
Right.
Also, that's outlandish. Don't treat me like I'm fucking some young kid straight out of like high school or college. Like,
but you realize that like there are people who go to 4-year colleges for bank management and they get positions to start as bank tellers full time because that's their starting point.
right, but that's full time.
Right.
Like if it was full time, it would be a different circumstance.
So I guess why would you be offered that same position if they're coming in better qualified?
No. I'm getting offered the position. I'm just getting offered shitload pay.
No, but you prefer higher pay with the full time hours, right?
Well,
like why wasn't that offered to you?
Oh, it's just not available here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, because all these bank manager positions are filled up. Like, if there was a 40-hour bank manager position or assistant manager or anything like that that had career advancement opportunities, I'd be jumping on it. Like, immediately. But it's not here. The job market is pretty rough right now. For like in terms of my qualifications, I can go get a job at 7-Eleven or McDonald's or something like that, but it's not enough money.
Right.
Once you set yourself to a level of income, you kind of screw yourself if you ever find yourself in a position where you need a new job. So don't do that. Budget your money, kids. Stay in school. Don't do drugs, and read Dave Ramsey's books.
It's fine to go. It's fine to get to a new income level because you're supposed to be taking steps forward, not steps backward. So, like, if you reach the $40,000 income level, then you should continue working and studying so that you can better yourself, so that you can eventually make $45,000 or $50,000.
No, I was talking about spending.
Well, what does spending have to do with your employment opportunity, though?
Not with employment opportunity, with your income level, because my income level is now changing, and it is probably going to be lower unless something opens up.
Right.
So, like, I've been living off of X budget per year. Now I have to suddenly shift that, but you can't because
okay. So why do you feel like it has to be a lower pay though? Why don't you feel like you're entitled for more pay?
I am. It's just based on what's available. I don't control the job market. I can't create a job that pays me what I needed to pay me. You know what I mean? There's what's available and what isn't available. I might have to take a job completely out of my qualifications simply because it pays a decent amount of money.
Right. Absolutely.
Until something does open up, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. It's just interesting, I've done a lot of soul searching over the past 2.5 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you find your soul?
No. I do realize that I hate you.
Oh,
which is something I've said on the show many times.
Yeah, we all know that.
It just kind of solidified.
It's just redundant.
Yeah.
At this point.
So, enough about me and my little mini vacation. It was fun. Played a lot of Pokemon.
Oh, good.
Not really. I played Pokemon for like one night.
I did not play Pokemon.
And the best part was nobody knew I was home. Which, not to say, like, to my friends back home that, like, I'm glad I didn't see you.
Before he left, he said he wanted to see nobody and that he had no interest and that people just took up way too much of his time and that he just wanted peace and quiet.
That's not what I said at all. In fact, I didn't even say why I was going home in the first place. I just said I was going home. I went to go check out the job market and my networking connections. I didn't want to get distracted by seeing people hanging out.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you have to say networking connections?
Well, how else would you say that?
Well, why don't you just, like... Why do you need networking connections? Why can't you just, like, go apply for jobs?
Like, I did.
Like,
well, no, I didn't because it's September, but
yeah, like,
I asked about job opportunities. It's easier to get a job with a better pay when you network. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like, all right, so like you have a job that's not advertising for a position, but you know somebody who's in well with somebody,
right?
And they're like, all right, yeah, we could probably fit them on the roster anyway. And now all of a sudden you're getting a job that wouldn't have normally been available had you just gone in on your own and said, hey, I need a job. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the whole point of networking. It's like to get in.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so what's the question?
I'm just wondering why you're only looking those avenues.
I'm not. I looked everywhere. I've been looking everywhere. I considered prostitution, but they told me I needed to lose like 40 pounds, and I'm not down for that.
Yes, you also need to be willing to play with toys that you're not willing to play with.
I don't want to know how or why you know that.
The camera in your bedroom.
God.
I've told you about the camera in your bedroom.
Okay. So, while I was home, something did come up.
What's that?
There is a roaring demand for men with beards and secrets.
Men with beards and secrets, yes. Our new business endeavor.
When are we starting this?
Huh?
When are we starting this? Because people are shooting out ideas, and eventually they're going to realize that we have no real commitment to this, and they're going to take it.
Well, first of all, copyright, bitches. Second...
It's not copyright.
Yes, it is. You can go look. I copyrighted it.
Did you copyright Men with Beards and Secrets?
Yep, and I own the domain. All the domains.
Oh, my God.
But I mean, we would need some products. We need to design a theme. We'd need to figure out if we're going to go storefront or internet only at first. Then we need to make our appearance on Shark Tank to get funding.
You always go internet first because it's no direct cost for you for renting a building or anything like that.
Well, right, but also less, FaceTime with customers.
Well, yeah, but we're in the age of the internet, dude. Everything is done on the internet now.
Yeah, but if we're selling things that people want to have to, like, try on and stuff, they're probably going to want to try it on.
What about Amazon?
What about Amazon?
That literally started on the internet.
Yeah, Amazon literally, yes, that's
How many
Amazon
years between Amazon starting on the internet before they opened up, these warehouses that sell shit?
The warehouses ship their products.
Yeah.
That's where the stuff comes from.
Is that what this thing is? That's opening in Fall River? I thought it was like an Amazon store.
No, it's a warehouse, just so that it's a distribution center.
I thought it was a store. I thought Amazon was opening up storefronts.
They thought about opening bookstores.
Why would you open up bookstores?
Because books are awesome.
Oh yeah, that worked out real well for, what was it, Borders?
Borders was grossly mismanaged.
Yeah, see, that's what everybody says, but I just remember it sucking. I remember Seattle's Best being awesome.
Seattle's Best still exists, number one. Number two, Borders, their biggest mistake was allowing Amazon to be their exclusive provider of all their online sales for 10 years. They signed a 10-year contract.
Oh yeah, I remember you complaining about that years ago.
When I say it was grossly mismanaged, I mean they just gave all their profit to Amazon and saw none of it. And by the time they made their own website, it was too late.
Yep, I remember that actually. Late. That's weird.
So everyone misses Borders. There's a group on Facebook about Borders and how much everyone misses them, including myself, because Barnes & Noble, it's just not the same environment. Barnes & Noble. I'm sorry. It's just not as welcoming.
It's not coming back.
I feel like when I walk into Barnes & Noble, they all stare at you and they're like, why are you intruding in my library?
Right, it's like their own personal library. Like when Borders existed, it was like the people who went to Borders and the people who went to Barnes & Noble. And now that Borders is gone, the Barnes & Noble are like, I don't know, they're like the people who take over land in a war, but like the citizens of the old territory still live there, and it's like, what are you still doing here?
Is it the color scheme? Like, what is it that makes me feel that way? When I walk into Barnes & Noble, I'm like, oh, this is where all the gross, hoity-toity people come from.
There's almost something, I don't know if this is going to make sense at all, but there's almost something pedophilic about...
I think it's their sign. I think it's that it's in cursive.
Does that make sense?
I think it's that it's in cursive writing.
That calligraphy.
I think it's the font of the sign that's just like, this is like an elite place.
Come to Barnes & Noble.
Borders was just like Borders, big straight welcoming text, red on white, very nice. And you'd walk in and everyone's walking around, you can smell the coffee and stuff. Books A Million is a good in between. They don't quite achieve what Borders did as far as atmosphere. That. There's one here. So you get the Borders feel, but not the customer service.
What was the customer service in Borders?
Oh, trust me, I knew all about the customer service because you'd be staring. Here's a side topic. I don't like talking to people when I go into stores. If I walk into a bookstore or a grocery store or the hardware store, don't come up to me and ask me if I need help. If I fucking need help, I'll come find you. I am staring intently at my choices. I take 10 to 15 minutes to make very simple choices.
Yeah, you shop like
That's
a woman.
what I do. I sit there and I stare. I'm look at the price. If it's food, I'll look at the weight on the bag and I'll be like, am I getting as much food in that one as I am for that one for the same price? How much will I save if I buy the larger ounce size? These are very important things you need to consider when going to any store. And I don't like it when people walk up like, hey, how you doing? You need any help today? It's like, I am not in any place to socialize right now. Get out of here.
What about the people who go... See, this is the thing I don't understand about bookstores. Barnes & Noble, Borders, and if there's a policy that you're aware of that I'm not, please let me know. But, I can walk in there, sit down, pick up a book, and read the whole thing, and then walk out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's the profit there?
There's not.
Don't come loiter in my fucking store. Buy the book
but
or
chances
leave.
are, so at Borders, people would come in and they come to the cafe and they'd sit there at the cafe every day on their lunch breaks and stuff and read a book off the shelf like a library and then put it back on the shelf. But the point was, they were coming in there buying stuff from the cafe. So even though they weren't purchasing a book, they were still driven to the bookstore, buy the books, and we were turning profit off the food.
But you're devaluing the books that people are constantly taking off the shelves to read and then putting back.
Not really.
These books aren't mint.
Nothing's mint.
Yeah, but alright, if I put a brand new book on a shelf, even if it doesn't move for a few months, it's still going to be in relatively good condition. But if a guy on his lunch break working at a mall where there's a Borders every day goes in, grabs the same book, let's say it takes him a week and a half to read the thing cover to cover, with his coffee, potentially spilling, potentially doing anything, and keep putting the book back, when somebody goes to buy that book, they're going to open it up and be like, this book looks like it's been read 40 times. I'm out.
Yeah, but they'll just pick up another copy of the book.
There are multiple copies of books.
Most of the time, there's multiple copies. And, if a person comes in that really want that particular book, they'll probably buy it anyway.
Not me. I'm asking for a discount. I would find every individual page that has like a stain and be like, 10 cents off.
You could ask for a discount, but like, I don't know. At Borders, they were trained to like approach every customer. Hey, how are you doing today? Can I suggest something for you? And like, maybe that works for people. I'm sure they tell you to do that based on studies of like consumers, but like, I am not one of those people. Who wants
that though? If I'm going into a bookstore and maybe I have a general misunderstanding of people who enjoy books, but like as someone who used to read religiously, like when I go into a bookstore, the last thing I want is somebody coming up to me and be like, can I suggest something for you? You have no idea who I am. You have no idea of what my interest in literature is. Like, you have nothing to go off of. What are you going to suggest?
Well, they also work in a bookstore, though. So, like, they can say, hey, what are you looking for? And you can say, oh, I'm looking for something like this. And they'll be like, oh, have you read this? A lot of people have come in and talked about this book, and then they might turn you on to a new thing. But, like, I'm not a social person, nor do I trust people's recommendations most of the time, unless I know you personally, but you're a stranger. So, like, you're giving me this recommendation based on what you've heard from other people, and I appreciate that, but, like, I'd rather find it on my own. But, like, maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe other people like being spoken to when they're shopping.
I don't like that kind of guidance. Like, if I go into a store that, like, requires that kind of guidance, fine. But, like, if I'm going into a bookstore, like, it's a plethora, or it's a pure opportunity for me to you go with something I know or explore something different entirely. Like, I don't want an outside influence to that. I want it to be my choice. I want to be drawn to a book for a reason I can't explain and be like, I need to read that book. And then truly enjoy it. I feel like that's, lost a little bit when somebody's like, hey, maybe you should read this.
I'm not. Although I feel like as a society, we kind of shy away from things that are recommended to us for some reason.
Oh, no, definitely. When it comes to TV shows...
I don't know why.
Sons of Anarchy, Dexter, and Breaking Bad. I've never seen either of those three because when they came out, everybody would tell me, like, dude, you need to see the show. You need to see the show. You gotta... Like, and then I was like, you know what? I don't fucking want to now. Thanks. You ruined it for me.
If everybody's saying that I need to see the show, then I always mentally bookmark it, and I'm like, at some point I need to watch it. Maybe I can't watch it in that moment, but, like...
I'm the opposite. I won't watch it.
Game of Thrones is immensely popular, and Game of Thrones is fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying these shows are bad. I've heard nothing but good things about Breaking Bad. Okay, so
why not watch it?
I don't know. It's like something in my brain says everybody wants me to be a part of this so badly that I don't want to be a part of it.
But why?
It's almost like I'm rebelling against the system.
Yeah,
I guess.
But why? What's the end game?
I don't have a reason for it.
No, well, you do somewhere. Find it. Tell me what your reason is.
I will do some more soul searching to Kansas's Dust in the Wind, and I'll get back to you on that.
Because like some people are like, oh, you should listen to this music, and I'm like, what kind of music is it? And they're like, rap, and it's like, I know I don't like rap, so I'm not going to listen to it, period. Because I don't like rap.
I'm like when it comes to
shows are different.
Yeah, shows are different. When it's a TV show, I'll try anything. You know what I mean? And that's how I end up falling in love. I have this bad habit of falling in love with shows that are either already canceled and I'm not aware, or are on the verge of getting canceled every time.
Yeah,
Firefly.
You have terrible taste in fucking
Firefly.
Firefly was good.
Warehouse 13.
I've never seen it.
Great show.
Michael Cornell watched it though.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah,
he could tell you all about it.
He could.
He really could.
At length, I imagine.
What is your favorite mindfuck of a read?
My favorite mindfuck of a read?
What book did you read?
Dark Tower series, second ending.
That mindfucked you?
The second ending?
The second ending.
Yes, the second ending definitely mindfucked me.
What's second ending?
The ending. So you finish the book and you're like, oh, that makes sense. And then you turn
spoilers.
And then you turn the page, and then Stephen King is like,
oh, I wish I had a different ending.
No. Stephen King was like, no. Stephen King writes, do not read what's past these pages because it's a different ending.
Oh, right, when he gets there and then that's where it ends, but then he gives you the true ending.
Yeah, and then he's like, don't read past this, blah, 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 and you're like, but I have to.
Yeah, because it's going to ruin you.
And then you read it, and it's like, no! Yeah, mindfuck.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that was what I really meant when I said mindfuck. Like, all right, my favorite mindfuck of a read, and I suggest everybody read this book, it's so amazing, was Kafka on the Shore. Great book.
Never heard of it.
It's phenomenal. It's an amazing book, and like the whole time you're reading,
you think it's phenomenal?
Yes.
I'm not going to read it.
God damn it, Jerry! I have really good. I got you into the Dark Tower.
No, my mom did actually.
No, we've had this conversation. You do this all the time. You do this with books and music. And all right, so I don't know. Jerry has this thing.
Do I credit my mother for anything ever?
Jerry has this thing in our friendship, right, where anytime I suggest something to him, he will put it off to the ends of the earth until one other person suggests it, and then he'll listen to it. And it's the most infuriating thing in the world. Like, when you're listening to... When you're in the house and you hear a band come on and you're like, Jerry doesn't know that band. I suggested that to him months ago. He must finally be listening to it. I'm like, hey man, you finally listening to that band? He's like, what are you talking about? Mikey just recommended this band to me yesterday. And I'm like, you son of a bitch!
See, it's all about like the weight of the opinion though. Mikey, has traditionally excellent taste in music, and he doesn't listen to any smut. So when Mikey gives me a suggestion, I think this is a serious suggestion. It's serious, and it must be excellent. So then I listen to it. But you listen to a lot of crap.
So you don't listen to my music suggestions, my TV show suggestions, or, probably most insulting, my literature suggestions.
The only thing I said I didn't listen to for literature was Dark Tower, because my mom literally suggested it to me. She owned all the books. They were in the house growing up. She was the one who introduced me to the Dark Tower series. You had also read it, but you did not introduce me to it.
I fucking made you read that book.
You did not make me read the book.
I tried to get you to read that book.
I didn't read
and then
it.
You were like, no. And then years later, you were like, oh, read The Dark Tower. And I was like, finally. And you were like, yeah, my mom told me about it. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, because my mom told me about it.
Just once before you die, I need you to credit me for something that I've suggested to enrich your life.
You told me to listen to Creed, and that was stupid.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I
you did.
Hate Creed
no, that was totally
and Scott Stapp. No, it was not.
Scott Stapp is a god.
No, he's not.
You leave him alone.
He's
That,
awful.
That man has the most unique voice ever.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
This is coming from one of the biggest fans of Freddie Mercury.
Okay, you listen to fucking crap remakes of songs by guys on the internet.
What are you talking about?
I don't even know. They're just terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know either. Ninja something.
Ninja Sex Party?
Retarded.
No, that's a cover album, and Ninja Sex Party is amazing.
Retarded.
They are hilarious.
I don't know.
We're going to see them in September.
I'm not going to.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm not going to fucking waste my money.
There's nothing better than watching a ninja play a keyboard while a guy in a kimono sings songs about, pretty much nothing.
I'd rather go watch Scott Stapp solo talking to himself.
Scott Stapp is the most... Scott Stapp is right up there with Chad Kroeger on the list of people I hate because they're talentless fucks.
I don't think Scott Stapp is talentless.
No, he is absolutely... Okay, he can sing, but can he sing
okay, that's
well?
the talent.
Can he sing well?
Yeah, he can.
Well enough for his level of fame? I don't think so.
He's better than...
He's just got that deep, bassy voice that sounds good no matter what you're, saying. But, he sucks. Scott Stapp sucks.
No,
I'm not a fan.
Scott Stapp does not suck.
If Chad
You might not
Kroeger,
like his music, but, his vocals are pretty good.
I don't like his vocals. I don't know, something about his voice bugs me.
Okay, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
That's not true.
I don't like...
I am the determining factor of what is good and what is not good.
No, that's your fucking complex in life, and I hope one day you can get over it. I really do.
That was a joke.
No,
Wait, make it serious.
No, because it's not a joke. You know it's true. You're playing it off like a joke because you know it's true, but you know what? Intervention.
Give me one example.
Intervention.
Give me one example.
Everything, because you think that everything that you say is either true or the best or necessary.
That's not true at all.
That's your opinions come off like fact.
I'm very passionate about my opinions, and I may convey them as fact, but
you can't. Yeah, but you shouldn't be conveying an opinion as fact.
Yeah, I can. It makes people coincide with my opinion more if they believe it, and that makes them right because I'm.
Yeah,
right
but you're
by
supposed
default.
to persuade them to your opinion by using facts.
Why? I can just do it forcefully or manipulatively.
No,
it's easier.
No, it's wrong.
What?
And this is why you need to see your therapist more often.
No, my therapist is also wrong.
No.
I have more knowledge in the field than they do.
This is the point. See? Here we are. Here we are again. Everybody, we will be staging a formal intervention for Jordan on Tuesday, August the 23rd.
August the 23rd?
August the 23rd.
Wait, what?
In Bristol, Rhode Island, we will be staging
I might not be there.
A Jordan Burns intervention.
That'd be neat.
Cool. You're not going home for Mikey's wedding now.
Mikey and I already talked about this. I'm not allowed to leave Virginia again until I get into this class. So, fingers crossed that I get in Monday. But
oh, man.
As it stands right now, no. There's a 50-50 shot of me not making it to the
Wish you knew where
wedding.
that building was 3 weeks ago.
I knew where the building was. I was going to the right place.
What? You just told me yesterday.
I know. Did I not tell you about today?
No.
I've been going to the right place the whole time. I'm supposed to show up at 6, not 6:30. So I called them up and I asked them about it. And I was like, I just got an info sheet from my buddy Larry today. Why does this one say 6:30 when I'm being told by everyone else it's 6? Which is why the guy I kept talking to was so confused. And they were like, And so I just chalked it up to the Navy being the Navy. It was really frustrating. I've been a half hour late every time, which is why when I've been asking, hey, is there room, they keep saying, no, not this is the wrong building, because the class was already in session, and they had already filled up the remaining seats with standbys.
You think they would have been like, oh, man, if you want to get in, you should really show up around 6.
Well, here's what's funny about it.
That would have been nice of them.
So you had to route a formal request for this class. I'm not sure how interesting this is to anybody, but I don't really give a shit. You have to route a formal request for this class, right? So I just got that request back today, and my LPO's handing it to me, and she's like, so here's the thing, before I can even have a chance to open it, I'm like, what, did they schedule me for like the first week of September? She's like, no, they didn't schedule you at all, because they have no scheduled openings until October. So the request literally said, approved, however, member advised to go every Monday at 06 because there's no room. And I'm like, how is this a member responsibility thing? I've been trying to go to this class for a month already. Instruction says you're only supposed to go 30 days prior. What? This is broken. If I don't go to this class...
It's good for a year, though.
But if I don't go into this class, I can be held in the Navy longer, right? Until I keep this class, which is like
free money.
It's mostly untrue, but somewhat true. It depends on the command. But anyway, like, they push that down to the member's responsibility, like, oh, you should have gotten into that class, but it's like, there's no room in the fucking class. What am I supposed to do?
See, if they had Borders-type customer service, they'd open up another class just for all the people that couldn't get into the class.
Like, you have the room. There's no difference between, not a representative, that's a presenter, talking to a group of 50 and talking to a group of 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Move to a bigger classroom. This is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated. It's been a frustrating week, but a good week.
Yeah, but, fantasy football's coming up, or I should say football's coming up with fantasy football.
The Coffee Milk Hour has an open spot in its fantasy football league. Buy-in is $40. It's a 3-year keeper league. I thought you just said we did.
No, I told you it's full, and invites were going out today. We rescind everything we said. However, fantasy hockey, we definitely do have openings.
Yeah, I'm not playing fantasy hockey this year.
$30 for fantasy hockey.
Get the fuck out of here.
All the bad people except Dave have dropped out, but Jordan was terrible. So
I wasn't terrible. I just didn't make playoffs this year. Actually, no, I'm pretty bad in hockey. I'm also bad in baseball, which is why I haven't played it since the first time I tried it, which was a long time ago. Fantasy sports is like legal gambling.
No, it's not. It's a game of skill.
To an extent.
It's a game of skill.
It's still gambling.
No, it's not. It's a game of skill.
It's still gambling.
How?
Because you're still putting in money for a reward. And it's a game of skill to an extent. Your skill doesn't change the impact doesn't change the chance of players getting injured, doesn't change the chance of players getting suspended, of, having clerical issues, because these websites...
So it's just like real baseball.
Well, yeah.
A game of skill.
But people don't bet on baseball outside of Vegas where it's legal to bet.
You can bet on baseball.
Where?
Anywhere.
Where?
Anywhere.
Where?
Anywhere.
You're a liar.
Any casino that has a sports book.
Well, yeah, that's where it's legal to gamble. Aren't there, like, gambling laws or some shit?
No.
It's like illegal to gamble, isn't it?
No.
It is totally illegal to gamble.
No, it is not.
What? Gambling is illegal. That's the whole DraftKings thing.
Gambling is illegal in some states.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Some states.
So, okay, is gambling illegal in Virginia?
No. Yes.
Yes. So
yes.
How can we are not hosting this fantasy league. We are...
fantasy football is not gambling.
Yeah, but it is.
But it's not. DraftKings is legal in Virginia. Gambling is illegal in Virginia.
But DraftKings is gambling.
No, it's not.
Do you remember the article or the video we watched about it where the guys who, like, own DraftKings were like, it's not gambling because it's a game of skill, but then went to explain something further about it and explained the exact definition of gambling?
But it's not gambling.
But do you remember that? Because I feel like this is where it gets convoluted. We need to redefine gambling about as badly as we need to redefine our educational structure.
Gambling is going to a slot machine, putting $20 in, and hoping and praying to God that the machine sees in your favor.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Slot machines are all statistics.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, except here's the thing, Jordan. The person playing the slot machine has no fucking clue what the stats are. They're hitting a button, hoping and praying to God that the machine spits money at them.
I'm a statistician. Holy shit, I said that right.
You said it right, but everything you said was wrong.
Why?
Because you are not a statistician.
I mean, technically, I handled the treasury money.
Everybody, I'm challenging you. For the next week, anytime you see Jordan, talk to Jordan, see his Facebook post, I want you to call his bullshit immediately.
Don't do it. This is the only thing I have in life.
All those times you just kind of like let it go, and you're like, it's just bullshitting.
Wait, what?
Call him out on it right away.
What do I post on Facebook that's bullshitting? Most of my shit for the past 16 months has been, like, politically driven.
Challenge accepted.
You're gonna find something and, like, call me out on it?
Yep.
This is gonna be fun.
Me and your Uncle Sonny are gonna get together and cause you hell.
Don't you dare.
Woo!
Don't you dare. I can't deal with that radical. You would never be able to get on his side for, like, more than an hour before you wanted to rip your own hair out. You're the most liberal person I know, and he is the most conservative person I know right now.
We can unite in torturing you.
No, you can't. Because who are you voting for in the election?
Hillary Clinton.
He hates you. How about that?
I hate him.
How's that working out?
I hate him, but we're going to bond over our hatred.
He's a good guy. He's just corrupted by Long Island. There's something in the water there, man. I don't know what it is, but
Does he have big teeth?
What?
I know someone from Long Island with big teeth.
I've never looked at my uncle's teeth now that you're mentioning it, actually.
Well, if they're anything like yours, they're huge.
I don't have big teeth. That's mean. You're being very mean.
I'm on a roll. We are 35 minutes into what may arguably be the most boring Friday freestyle
Why is this boring?
I don't know.
Well, fuck it. Let's scrap it and start over.
I'm not scrapping it. I'm going to clean the house.
Then let's just not post it.
We're posting it. You guys weigh in. Let us know. Is this the most boring Friday freestyle
Why
ever?
do Friday freestyles always have to be like super high energy and like we had a genuine discussion? You know what this podcast? What is this? What is the purpose of this podcast?
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Did you just?
I don't like
the
this.
fucking sleeve.
I don't like the sleeve, the microphone cover, because I can't smell the microphone anymore. It just smells like foam
What is
now.
wrong with you?
I have an elevated sense of smell.
Don't give me some bullshit excuse
Smell
to
is-
replace the.
Smell
just
is
say-
very important
Just
to
say
me.
what the truth is. You're imitating sucking a dick right now on your dick-shaped
Who
microphone.
sucks a dick with their nose?
I mean, you like nuzzle it.
Who the fuck is nuzzling dicks with their nose?
No, I'm just kind of shooting off the hip
You
here.
watch weird ass fucking porn.
Don't watch porn. Also,
Are you gonna do that again?
No,
That's hilarious.
What is
I will be publishing his search history later today.
Go
on the
for it.
page.
You're not gonna find anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, you might find some weird YouTube videos, but like no porn. Anyway, what is the purpose of this podcast?
To have organic and honest discussion about things.
What is the purpose of the Friday Freestyle?
To do that on Fridays.
No, the Friday Freestyle, literally what you argued a week ago, was to talk about whatever we wanted. Today we talked about shit. People are going to listen or they're not going to listen. You know what the best part about this is? It doesn't cost us a dime.
What doesn't cost us a dime?
We just wasted 36 and a half minutes of your life. You're welcome.
Also, I need someone to clean and fix the grout in the kitchen here. I'll pay.
Yeah, Rin, we really need a maid, so like, if you could go ahead and...
Shout out to all the Canadians out there.
Yeah, Canadian fan base.
Happy Friday. It's Friday in Canada, right? That's how it works.
I think it's like Thursday afternoon.
Thursday.
What day is in Australia? It's like Saturday.
Man, Canada's just a perpetual Thursday, isn't it? Like, when I think Canada, I think Thursday. You guys are just Thursday all the time.
Did you
never
know
quite make it to
that
the weekend.
Canadians hate the French Canadians? And the French Canadians apparently hate Canadians?
What?
I was talking with somebody, and I'm not gonna...
Yeah, because the real Canadians, like, on the west side are, like, that's British Columbia. They're, like, of English descent. And then on the east side, it's, like, the French Canadian. And the French and the Brits hate each other to begin with. So they're just, continuing a year's, centuries, really.
Right. It's
worth
like,
of tradition.
I'm not gonna name names, but I was talking with a friend of mine in Canada, and I was like, "How do you feel about the French Canadians?" Because they're, Western Canadian, and they were like, "There are no French Canadians. There are Canadians." And then something like French fucks pretending to be us or sullying our good name or some shit like that. And I was like, wow, the hate is real.
Yeah, and they all live in Montreal.
Is that how that works?
I mean, kind
Well,
of.
how come the eastern side got the French Canadians? They seem to hate us a lot as Americans.
Because French people, I don't know.
I always thought Canada was just one big community of happy people, though.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought everybody up there loved each other and loved everybody else in the world. That's just how Canada works.
It's Australia.
Did you know that Canadians
New Zealand.
apologize over 250,000 times in a year?
For what?
They just say sorry 250,000
Oh,
times
like
in a year.
individuals on average apologize
Yes.
250,000 times?
Yes.
That's very nice of
It's a
them.
completely made up statistic.
Because you're not a statistician.
I am a statistician. That's how I just came up with that statistic.
Go to your room.
I'm not... All right, everybody. Are we doing shows next week?
We might do shows next week.
Are we having guests on those shows?
No, we're not going to have guests on the shows, but we might do shows next week. We'll keep you posted on whether or not we do shows. I'll keep doing my coffee minute because I value them.
I'm
and
here
I value
now.
seeing
I'll do
you guys,
my coffee minute.
Because, mobile phones aren't fucking mobile.
Jerry, I have bills, and higher data is not on my list of priorities.
Well, sometimes you have to prioritize the podcast over Pokemon Go.
No, that's insane. You're out of your mind.
This has been the Coffee Milk Hour.
This has been the most boring episode of the Coffee Milk Hour.
Potentially, let us know. Friday Freestyle.
I think it is. I'm casting my vote, and I'm casting it as the most boring, but I feel like still accomplished that we were able to, have a discussion, have a conversation, and just do what we do in front of microphones.
And I get to sniff my microphone.
You are so fucking creepy when you do that. I wish the Coffee Milk Hour had a Snapchat set up, because I would snap that right now and post it as a tag to this video. This is creepy, man. Don't do that. That's weird.
Anyway, everybody, I hope you have a good weekend.
I'm just gonna keep trying to keep this episode
Stay cool.
going.
Summer's winding down. Almost time to go back to school. Have a great time.
All right, bye, everybody.